You're getting a seat nobody gets inside the design room, the marketing meetings, the ad partnerships, the athletes, everything it takes to build a brand. From Jackson to Santo Studio to SC Village, nothing cut, nothing polished, you see all of it. Today I'm showing you behind the scenes of the Santo Studio HQ and our new collection celebrating the 125th anniversary of Nordstrom.
Yeah, so we are heading over to Santo HQ, which is in Newport Beach. We just left Jackson Media House, which is where we do our podcast, the Jackson brand. The cool part about having two brands, obviously I'm a partner in the CMO of Jackson, which I came on in 2020 with my partner Josh. And then I founded Santo Studio last March 13th, so we're about almost 2 years in. And the cool part about this is that we are building something very special. The brand was founded with this, we call it the founding design team. So guys like Sheckler, Jet Lawrence, P-Rod, Nigel Houston, Ellie Dela Cruz, Blake Snell, some of the biggest names, some of the best icons per sport, per discipline. And we wanted to bring in all these guys so they could kind of have their own design, their own view, and be able to translate that and be able to kind of release that to the world in the matter they wanted and kind of the respect they wanted, because I think a lot of these guys have really good design input and they have really good ideas on content and brand, but they've never really had the infrastructure to be able to just basically release freely their ideas. So I think that was one of the coolest things we did, was we brought all these partners together. You know, legendary moto, freestyle icon Twitch, he just dropped a brand new shoe with us. Sheckler's dropping a new shoe. Jet Lawrence has a new shoe. Cole Hoshman, which is one of the best surfers in the world right now, has a new shoe. So we're really leaning heavy into footwear. I think we have the best footwear program in the game right now with our vulcanized soles. And one of the biggest things I was talking about the other day was hype versus heritage. People understanding like hype gets the now and heritage gets the decade. Like when you're building a brand, when you want something to stand, you know, the test of time, you want to build something that has infrastructure. You want to build something that has, you know, the ability to live on its own and is not borrowed energy. And I think one thing that I always really truly believe about hype is that hype is just so much borrowed energy. It's something that you're just kind of like piggybacking on a current trend, and then it fades away, and what really is your brand built on? A house of cards. So one thing I always wanted, one thing I'm constantly trying to learn, is how to build my brand in a way where it's foundationally sound. There's people that really believe in it. The values of the brand make sense and they're translated through the pieces, and the collections are insane. And I think that's a big ordeal to most people, because most people who don't build brands don't understand how much time it takes, how much infrastructure it takes to build good product, good marketing, good ads, good content, a command center, you know, the whole nine. So I feel like that's just kind of like one of the biggest things. And for me, I always look at it like you can manufacture hype, but you can't manufacture history. And one thing I always tell people is like the history of a brand, the history of the relationships with these athletes, these professionals, these guys are guys that truly believe in the brand. They believe in what we're building. They believe in the community. But when you are manufacturing that, like when you're just kind of going and paying celebrities to come do shoots and you're paying athletes to wear your product, I mean, there's just no real connection there. So there's no real authenticity. And I talk about authenticity so much because we spend so much time bringing in all these athletes, all these celebrities, you know, all these champions of sport and global icons to be a part of the brand, past, present, and future. You know, we're working with Jansen Gomez, the best jiu-jitsu athlete in the world, but we also built the brand and our jiu-jitsu studio with Leo Vieira, the founder of Checkmat, and we built the Santo Studio Jiu-Jitsu in our Santo Performance Studio in Newport Beach, a 15,000 square foot facility. And before I wrap this up, because then we're going to go into the HQ right now, and we're going to look at our new sport collection we're dropping with Nordstrom. Yeah, I think one of the coolest things is like Santo Studio collaborating with Nordstrom on the 125th anniversary. I think it's like very important to understand like some stories you just inherit, and this is a story that we inherited from Nordstrom that I felt we were able to really tell this story in the best way. So, I mean, we kicked it off with our varsity jacket, telling the story of the Seattle colors, the vintage nostalgia of Seattle. Obviously, they have an amazing location and headquarters in Seattle for Nordstrom, so we felt like this was really cool, played into our theme of what we wanted, especially with our new vintage silhouette varsity jacket with the quilted interior. And then next thing we want to do is celebrate their 57th New York Street, New York flagship. So we came out with the New York colorway kind of vibe. We did the pinstripe sweatpants, reinterpreted it a little bit more in the black and the cream, popped it with the orange, and then we did our Santo Studio jersey, the knit jersey with our club collar. Basically something a little bit more tied back to the core items and the core silhouettes that Santo is known for in Nordstrom, and playing into the New York theme. And then we also have the tire that came back, you know, and the racing division here at Santo Studio is so important. We have the moto, the cars, the team, the rallies. So building this like truck garage, the Santo Studio truck garage, and basically the concept of like Nordstrom has an incredible story, like I said, about their tire, about the concept of the returns and the customer service they gave. So being able to tie that back into our tees, really cool graphic art that really kind of explains that. The Seattle colors are really dope. This is one of my favorite pieces. It's our French Terry zip up. You can see the S insignia zipper. It's got that antique finish. And then you can kind of see the Santo Studio embroidery and the feel and the theme. I think that this is one of the best pieces where we're able to tie back the themes and the inspiration of Seattle and Nordstrom and celebrating the 125th anniversary, but at the same time, you know, playing into what makes Santo Studio itself so different. And then my two favorite core items that we sell at Santo and that we have really spent a lot of time developing are our knits. I believe the collar is perfect so it doesn't choke you, and it kind of sits perfectly, so if you wear a Jackson chain or something, it'll still pop. And then the fit is a little bit more cropped, but it has a more of an oversized shoulder length. And then we did one with the classic Thugs Need Hugs. And then this one with the free advice celebrating 125 years of Nordstrom and the anniversary. Go fast, but not too fast. So understanding that you gotta build, but you gotta build with authenticity and meaning and purpose. I think Nordstrom being such a heritage brand and their legacy being tied back so heavily to high-end product and being tied back to the idea that these are some of the best retail stores in the world, I think really plays into the fact that we wanted to create something super custom, handmade, hand-drawn, hand-colored, and then apply that artwork to the jacquarded knit, and I feel like the finishing on this came out perfectly. So really hard applique to kind of put onto a knit and make it come out smooth. So really cool collection. This is just a few of the pieces. It's gonna be available at every Nordstrom nationwide. This is the behind the scenes of Santo. This is the HQ. This is like our design studio. We have all of our samples, all of our product. We have our design room where we work on our new collections. We have all of our production samples. We have all of our drops that are gonna be going live. I think it's really cool, like when you look at, you know, having a forecast and a vision of where you want the brand to go and the product that you want, I think is important, but at the same time, I think it's super important to make sure you lean into the categories that your customers and the people that are resonating with the brand really enjoy. So I think one thing we're doing really well this year is we're leaning into footwear, leaning into denim, redeveloped our entire sport collection, and our fashion pieces are all next level. I think the biggest thing for us was making sure that the fits of our fashion pieces were different, unique, but at the same time, in a way, this word kind of gets overly used, but commercial, where people can actually wear these things every day and they can kind of complete different fits. So our new denim collection is incredible. Our new cargo pants, I'm wearing the new cheetah faded print. This is our classic cargo, a little bit oversized baggy. And then all of our tees, they're all cropped. They're on our signature Droppo fit, which is a very cropped fit with the oversized shoulder, and it fits perfectly for us and our aesthetic that we're going for. Then we have our new luggage collection, and we have our 3 new collections dropping for fall, and then we have a very special collection coming for Black Friday with Revoke. Revoke is one of the sickest street artists. He's an LA legend. You know, Revoke's been doing things that most people still can't replicate, and he's been in the game for decades. And then we have this brand new room, which is our athlete and friends and family room. So this is the community room. And this has all the newest pieces, and they're able to come through, our athletes, our team, our community, grab the new jerseys, grab the new tees, the long sleeves, all the new sport collection, grab all of our new t-shirts, and they're able to come in here and see the entire brand, and they're able to grab the pieces before anybody else. So this is a cool room we built in our lobby here at Santo Studio in Newport Beach. So a lot of our guys could come through, grab pieces. They can see all the new shoes we're working on. That's the bike Twitch had built with Carrie Hart, the Indian, so we just got that. That's the Santo Studio Indian now. That thing's sitting here. It's probably gonna go to our flagship store in Lido. That thing's brand new. And then this is our furniture collection we built. This is all Venetian framing. This is like the classic Venetian framing. So if you went to Venice back in the day, the Italians love their high, square, framed furniture, and I really wanted to bring that back here in a way. So this is all real 100% Italian leather, completely custom. And we have the 2 Ottoman / icon chairs, and then the full couch, and all of it is fully embedded with our Santo Studio S Insignia. And one thing that we're doing as we build this new channel, yes, I still have the Jackson podcast going crazy with Biz Bing and Dillashaw and Luke Rockhold, Khalil Roundtree. Yes, we have the Santo Performance Studio, the gym's still going crazy. Yes, Jackson is still going crazy. I got the Jackson Sports Podcast with Twitch and Tyler Bierman, everything surf, skate, and moto. As I'm building this, I want to give you guys a different look, a different perspective on me, but at the same time, I want to give you guys a behind the scenes look at the brand that we're building. For those of you looking to build a brand, for those of you that have input on us and how we're building our brand, I really feel like it's a great way to connect with you guys. So don't forget to like, subscribe, or leave a comment. Let me know who you guys want to see. Maybe I'll do a crazy giveaway too. There's a lot of moving pieces here, so hopefully you guys can follow along and you enjoy it.